Before I start this video, I would like to express my personal condolences to anyone who's lost someone due to suicide. I'd also like to express that anyone struggling with thoughts of suicide should try to reach out to someone. I'd also like to apologize for the quality of my voice. I am sick right now as I'm recording this.
Oh, hey, I'm just about to go to bed. I know we couldn't Skype tonight, but that's alright. Good night, girl. I'll see you tomorrow.
3 years ago, in 2020, a man went viral for a goofy video of him licking his lips and talking about a Skype call before falling on his back. It's a comedic video many chronic internet users have seen at some point. It was the first time I was introduced to this personality myself. Madoué Sadiq died on February 13th, 2024 due to internet fame, stalking, and cyberbullying. Most know him as TwoMad. This passing is just as heartbreaking as any, but more so for the nature of his death. I don't believe it's fair to label his cause of death self-inflicted. For months, TwoMad has been harassed every single day over allegations of misconduct. The people who have harassed him decided to take it upon themselves the burden of jury, judge, and executioner. The internet killed TwoMad. I won't show users who have said horrible things in order to protect them and not to showcase their abuse. What they have done is not right, but more harassment isn't the answer. I also do not plan on discussing the details of what he may or may not be guilty of because regardless, execution is not justifiable here. Attention was brought to him over a single unsubstantiated allegation. The ritual of organized harassment started there. With little regard to the life of this person, he was pushed more and more for a reaction. Madoué was a troubled person who unfortunately fed into this. I in no way blame him for his human reaction to inhumane people. Over the years, social media has become a vessel to bring evil directly to its users, as well as other things like dopamine and money. I think everyone would quickly turn their nose to social media like rotting meat if the internet didn't do such a great job at hiding the evils consuming its users. The user becomes the program, and the program claims another victim. The internet either completely constructs a beast within us or begs one to come out. Either way, rapid and vapid social consumption is corrupting all of us. With enough time on the platforms, people change to the models. The entity that is the internet attracts and makes the worst of us. At a certain point, the entity, or preferably the internet community, has become a place of intense social tuning. There are strict rules to this built society. You must follow these rules without interruption or else you will become the next target of harassment. The louder your fall, the more prize it is to make you fall. South Park touched on this in their 12th season with the episode Britney's New Look. To sum up the episode, the town explains society picks it girls to abuse into suicide for the success of their crops. This is a play on the Mayans who would sacrifice female virgins for their crops. Once Britney Spears has been pronounced dead, Randy says, "I think it's time we leave the poor girl alone." If the South Park thesis is correct and relatable, then this is something deep within the human psyche. The internet wakes these demons, and the longer you use the internet, the more demon you become. You can sit back and say, "Leave the poor girl alone," but you are just as guilty as anyone. The longer we look and the longer we stare, the more we are participants in this abuse. We justify these things over time. We become the abusers. In 2012, Amanda Todd died at 15 drinking bleach. Amanda Todd's story hit me in every millennial in ways incomprehensible unless you experienced that moment. Every school in the country started anti-cyberbullying campaigns. Everyone knew her name and her story. We all mourn, but for me it hit particularly hard. She was born in the same month of the same year as me. It could have been one of my friends. We all felt like we knew her. Everyone stopped and band together to end the new craze of internet harassment. It was similar to Columbine, as in the first and thought to be last. To get a good feeling of the weight of this case, I've prepared clips from the video titled "Teens React to Bullying" by the Fine Brothers in their React channel.
Yeah, the video itself wasn't what got to me. What got to me was the people in the comments. That really pissed me off.
She actually killed herself about a month after this video went up.
Are you serious?
She ended up committing suicide.
Dude, that internet's really f***ed up. People are cruel, man.
People are disgusting. I feel like she made 2 little mistakes, and that's not fair.
He's a grown man. He shouldn't be picking on some teenage girl.
That's pretty f***ed up. Knowingly you killed some girl, how could you deal with that?
He should be arrested for the rest of his life.
The reaction to Amanda Todd versus Madhu Siddiq are extremely different, though the content is nearly identical. One started a national campaign and the other is celebrated. Amanda Todd's bullies justified the harassment from alleged sexual misconduct. Same with TwoMad. Large communities told these two they were bad and do not deserve to live every single day until the end for both. Some might say this is anti-male sexism, but I think it's something far scarier. I believe we have become culturally antisocial and don't see others as equally human. It's a common belief anyone deserves to die for breaking social rules that have been outlined. Internet users obsessively look for people out of these lines, never to shower them with love and respect to see their side, but rather bully and beat them into submission or the unthinkable, like these two cases. Antisocial serial killers have similar mindsets. Ted Bundy used to lure victims into his car by pretending to be disabled. It's safe to assume he thinks his victims deserve their slaying for getting into a car with a strange man. Multiple anti-bullying and anti-hate campaigns began in the 2000s, but towards the end of the 2010s, things changed. People began to accept cyberbullying as long as most agreed they did something politically/socially incorrect, especially if one was guilty of bullying themselves. That was around the time of smartphones. Very large amounts of people began using the internet daily, for hours at a time. This was majorly unusual before. When our only internet access was a desktop or a laptop, we had set aside time for computer use. It wasn't a default idle state of scrolling whenever something was semi-boring or uncomfortable. We had to turn on the computer and wait. Nothing was instant like it is today. Modern people essentially lack empathy. We tend to not initiate social interactions with strangers because it's impossible to understand how someone might act. What if we get accused of a misdeed for the internet to consume? We used to have rich social lives. We used to exist in the spaces we occupied. Our entire lives have been shaped around social media. We fear the boundaries because we know what happens when you cross them. Try factory resetting your phone and only using it for essentials over the next week. See how long you can go. Consume less and create more. It's how we raise kinder people who care less about labels and more about the real world and their real life. We need to know we exist, and so does everyone else. The only way to be certain of that is to live. And for ourselves, we need to disconnect.